Rock me like a hurricane.
How's your reception today? What I mean is, were people nice? Did they receive you well? Were you appreciated when you walked into a room with others? Because Mikko Rantanen is in for a pretty rude reception tonight. Let's talk about it. Stars and Hurricanes pregame show starts right now. Hey, everybody, this is the DLLS Stars Pregame Show as we get you ready for Stars and Carolina Hurricanes tonight in Raleigh alongside Craig Ludwig, our producer Ryan Vaughters, and in quarantine, but he's there, Sick Sam himself. Sam Nestler joins us. And then as we were getting ready for the show tonight, we saw very quickly why Sam is not here as he was hacking up a lung and talking about how much he could digest or not. And Sam, we're glad you're here, but we're also glad you're there.
Thanks, boys.
Before we get into everything, look at Sam's head. No, really, look at his head. He is wearing the new white version of the new Dallas hat collection, the DLS collection. He's also holding on the one that Luds calls the Cadillac version, but all four in the bottom of your screen right there, available at alldlls.com.
Nice.
Easy for me to say, but Sam is modeling it very well, and it looks like it's a pretty comfortable hat.
It is. I like this one. Actually, I thought I liked the black one the best, but now that this one's worn in a little bit, I like this one too.
There you go. Listen to Luds. He only gives good advice. All right. The main storyline today is the reception that Mikko Rantanen is about to receive with the Carolina Hurricanes fans at Lenovo Center tonight in Raleigh. Because since he was traded first from the Avalanche by way of the Chicago Blackhawks to Carolina in January of last year, then at the deadline to Dallas, where there was some misconstrued statements of basically Rantanen chose not to re-sign there before the trade deadline, which was also a really hard ask. I think a lot of Hurricanes fans took that as he rejected Carolina, didn't want to be there. I think really what it came down to was Mikko saying, I'm not prepared at this time to sign for 8 years with a whirlwind of all these things. Well, let's play some fun audio from this morning. First, Mikko in Raleigh about what he expects to see tonight from the fans.
Yeah, for sure. I understand, the nature of it, and it's a competitive sport, and fans are really good here in Carolina. They love the team, and it's really good to see. They're loud, and nothing but good things to say about the whole organization and the fans. But yeah, we'll see how it is.
They won't be very welcoming tonight, and you know that.
Yeah, I'm expecting. It's opponent. I'm opponent now, so I understand totally.
You could see
takes the high road.
He didn't say anything bulletin board material.
No, and listen, a lot of this started with the head coach.
It did.
Roddy was the guy that said, well, he said he didn't want to be here, which never happened. And that ultimately come out.
And he had to walk that back a little.
Yeah, he did. And it came out in a podcast, I think, with some guys or somebody. And then, well, that's not really what it was. But so that whole fire got started by probably a butthurt coach that wanted a superstar player, and he didn't want to be there, and it ended up being you can't say butthurt anymore?
No. So, Ryan, can you see now why I was advocating for that clip? Yes. So, Ryan and I were having an argument today about whether or not this clip should be played, and I said it's not so much about what Rod said, because he doesn't say much here. It's about how Luds will respond. So, let's play the Rod clip.
I know you all feed on the crowd. Are you going to have to win them over a bit tonight? Because I imagine there's going to be a little bit of a distraction with the guy who's returning here. Probably some booze from Rantanen and things like that.
I didn't even thought about that, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna go. It is what it is. I mean, yeah, you got me off guard there. I wasn't really, they wasn't even thinking about that.
Move on.
Yeah.
He's just basically saying, I knew some dumbass was going to ask this question when this game come up. And so there it is. And so I'm not going to make a comment because I'm not going to throw myself under the bus again or dig a little bit deeper hole. I've already found a way to get out of it, over the last 3 months, and then some idiot's got to bring it up again. But in a way, you knew this was coming, right? I mean, is that one of their guys that asked the question?
Yeah, it was one of their media. And I swear there's no way Rod Brind'Amour wasn't aware of this storyline, but I think he genuinely, when he was being asked, didn't know where the question was going, and then all of a sudden, about halfway through, you see him go, "Oh, okay, I get what you're saying now."
We can't pull up that just a still shot of him, can we? On that,
like halfway through and freeze.
No, I just want to get a picture of his head. Because what I see in there is a dude that wants to pull the hat completely down over his eyes, and it only went so far. Now Roddy's got a nose kind of like me, so that's probably what's stopping it. But he would rather not even. Well, he didn't even want to go here. I don't blame him at all. I mean, sometimes we say some dumb stuff. Well, a lot of times we say some dumb stuff, and then unfortunately in the role that he's in, you're one of the best coaches in the league, and you got one of the best teams over there, and so you're going to be called out on certain things. So.
I know Luds is not a big fan of being overly friendly during the season or
I'm not
whatever.
into that.
You know that this generation is different.
Yeah.
Sam, I'm coming to
too
you
bad.
next, but here's Sebastian Aho when asked if his friendship with Mikko Rantanen was all affected by Rantanen leaving Carolina for Dallas.
I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, as he signed there, he helped us at the time to get the return and all that. So I don't know why. I don't know. He was in a tough situation at the end of the day, and there's a lot of pressure at the time. And I mean, it looks like he made a good decision too, because he's having a good career and they have a good team. So it's I don't want to dive too much into it, but to your question, no, it didn't affect our friendship. I mean, it's still that's a hockey business and all that, but yeah.
What kind of filters he got going on there on that screen?
That's nice quality.
Ryan was loving it. Production Ryan was loving the filter. You? The little right?
Well, it seems a little feminine to me. I mean, it looks like you're trying to make your face look, like movie stars do. He doesn't have a voice that goes along with that. He doesn't have the voice for a hockey player.
It's not a filter. It's two people's heads in the way.
A what?
There's two people's heads in the way.
They were apparently heads in the shot.
So you were blurring them out.
I didn't blur them out. It was
it's just the way.
No, I'm just saying that's what that was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it looked like one of them real bad back screens or whatever you call it.
The backdrops.
Background.
Sam, you can tell that everybody involved is trying not to add any fuel to the fire that we think is going to happen when he steps out on the ice.
Yeah, look, I forget the guy's name we had on our show in the other 31
Joe.
For Carolina. Joe was talking a lot about this, right? He was really into the whole Rantanen thing about getting booed. He talked about this whole situation coming here tonight. The two sides are what they are. No matter what anybody says, no matter how it goes, Mikko Rantanen didn't want to be in Carolina. He didn't say, I don't want to be here because I hate you guys and I hate the city, I hate the team. But he didn't want to be there. It wasn't the right fit, whether that was on ice, family, systems, coaching, whatever it was. It didn't fit for him. He went to a really, really good Eastern Conference team and decided in a very tough spot when he really had to make one way or the other, he decided to go elsewhere. That's the flat out facts. That's going to make people, as Lud said, butthurt, no matter what. If you if you come here and you don't want to stay with us, we're going to be butthurt. You are a superstar top 10 player in the NHL. We wanted you here. Obviously, you didn't want to be here. The other side of it is for Rantanen is he's had success in Dallas. He's their best player. He's a superstar here, which many people didn't know if he could be outside of Dallas, right? The two sides don't change. I think the way it is and the way this is, the reason this continues to go the way it does and the people are going back and forth is because the facts are the facts and no one's going to change their mind. Carolina's not going to say, you know what, we're okay with it. We're happy he's having success, or they might in front of the camera, but that's not how they're going to feel. And Dallas and Mikko Rantanen are not going to say, you know what, we really wish we stayed there. It's just, it doesn't happen. So the facts of the situation don't change. And that means everyone's going to have their own opinion. But for the way it's gone with Mikko Rantanen, it didn't work there. And that says a lot because, as I said, that's a very, very good team. One of the most successful hockey teams over the last, 6, 7, 8 years. It didn't work there. Now he got the chance to come back. And I think for him, he's the most professional guy I think I've ever met. He says the same things, straight face, doesn't buy into any of the crap. Same thing happened when he had the hit and then he got the suspension. He keeps the same level-headed mind all the way through. And that's what makes him successful. And that's why Sean thought he might be the next captain of this team.
You know
How many
why-
years has Rod been a head coach in Carolina?
I want to say 6 or 7 now.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was more than that.
I mean,
Okay.
Is it 8?
Well, yeah. So look at this. I mean, this is
There's the head down.
if you could put a zipper on your lips, he would have had it on him. He's biting the inside of his lips off, trying not to say what he really wants to say, and I don't blame him. But anyway, for talking about Mikko and Sam, everything that you said. So Mikko has been playing against Rod, whether it's 6 years or 8 years, whatever it is, for that period of time. He's played plenty of games against him. Yep. Mikko knew when this all happened, he knew in his head and his heart, it's got nothing to do with the city, the state, it's the style of play. Mikko Rantanen is a puck possession guy. They are not. They are straight line, let's go, throw everything to the net. So for him to go, because I believe he's going, I'm not going to play well in that system. I'm going to play my way, and I'm going to have everybody else playing a certain way. It's nothing against the team, the style, the players. It's just not the right fit for me. That's all I think it is.
Ryan, he talked about
There's
style.
no way. Oh, go ahead.
Hold on, Sam, 1 second. He talked about style. He talked about possession. Here's what Gully said this morning about the contrasting styles of play between the Stars and Hurricanes.
Yeah, the two different styles, really. Two different styles playing. Again, I made a little reference. We see a lot of the teams in the East playing very similar. Florida, Tampa, kind of similar systems. And Carolina's been, playing this real aggressive style for a long time. They've done a great job. They're kind of set the bar on it a little bit. And, so some contrast here. I think it's important for us to, they're a man-on-man team. So you got to win your man-on-man battles. And in the O-zone, you got to hang on to pucks and try to limit some of their speed. And they're a high-volume team and try to create a lot of chaos. So you want some puck control to settle that down.
Yes, contrast in style. Here's the contrast in style. How many games have they played?
Who?
Carolina.
They have
approximately 40. I think everybody's around 40.
Tonight is game number 43.
Okay.
For both
and so
teams.
Dallas has played. Okay, they played the same amount of games.
Same number of games.
Carolina has 300 more shots on goal than the Dallas Stars after 43 games.
That's a lot.
That just tells you the style that they play. I mean, that's the system, that's the style, different philosophy. And, and Gully, just a tip, Gully, if you're playing against a team man-on-man, you bring people to the puck and you create little moving picks and things like that. And then you're going to create an outnumbered rush at the net. We've seen it happen plenty of times in this system here. So they know all that. And again, everybody, that's the beauty of the whole thing. Everybody knows the way that they play. But because of the directness that they play with, it's hard to stop it, because I don't even know what the numbers are, but I promise you that their offensive zone time is probably better than their defensive zone time.
I would think so.
Because they're more of get to the red line and it's going in. We're gonna spend more time down there. We're Dallas a little bit different. They want to hang on to the puck, and they can do that, and they're good at that.
Now, Sam, I'm going to play a clip from Gully in the second half of the pregame show that carries over a conversation we had yesterday, but I wanted to give you a chance to talk about the second time for us seeing Logan Stankoven and why Rod Brindamore seems so important, adamant that he's in the center playing down the middle.
Yeah, so going off of Lutz just said, it goes right into Logan Stankoven. The Hurricanes, as you mentioned, Lutz, their shots that's always been their thing. They shoot from everywhere, they put it to the net, and a lot of times it can cause chaos, and it leads to their success, but it's also hurt them in the playoffs when they're not able to get to those hard areas. If you look at the stats on shot attempt percentage, Carolina's first, no surprise, 58.6%. This is shot attempts for and against. Dallas is 31st in the NHL out of 32 with 45.4. That's not saying Dallas is bad in any way, because they're obviously not. But Dallas this year specifically under Glenn Golitzin, I almost said Pete DeBoer, under Glenn Golitzin is a puck possession team. He said that on day one in training camp. He said, we want to hold on to pucks a little more. We want to regroup. We want to not just give the puck away, which is what they did a lot in the last few years. Stankoven fits that perfectly. I mean, Stankoven has the skill, the motor, everything we've talked about tons of times on the show, but it didn't really work all the time in Dallas because of the way they played the game. Then he goes to Carolina, and it fit like a glove. and he was excellent last year. And I know he's not scoring as many goals this year, maybe as they were hoping, but he signs the big contract there, and he drives play. Ludz said straight ahead, right? That's the perfect explanation of Logan Stankoven as a player. Straight ahead. The guy loves to just skate as hard as he can. He's short. He's a little guy, gets in battles, but he loves to put the puck to the net and go there afterwards, right? That's where he scored a lot of his goals, if not a little bit of a toe drag in the slot as he's driving and pushing defenders. So to fit in that style, you need to play straight ahead. You can't mess around with the puck. Stankoven does that, and keeping him in the middle of the ice allows the wingers to feed off of that, because as Led's always talks about with Rope Hintz, Rope backs people off. Stankoven drives the play by putting the puck in the right area so that his line mates can go there. So I'm surprised he hasn't had as much offensive success this season, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him eventually get it going.
Sam, you mentioned Rope. He would be a guy that would fit perfectly into the Carolina system.
He would.
You know, and again, I don't know if they have enough guys that can translate what he does into goals, but regardless, that would be right up Hintz's alley. The other thing that you look at that PDO, it's the shooting and save percentage combined. They're 31st in the league. And so that tells you that they're more about volume of pucks going to that. Yes, of course.
A lot of them aren't very dangerous, are they?
That's the point, is they throw everything to the net. And so if you have a goaltender that can control his rebounds, it makes a difference in a game like
Enter
this.
Jake Oettinger. We'll talk about that and a whole bunch more after this here on the DLLS Stars Pregame Show. We're just going to keep going. So, Luds, you're live. Let's do it live.
How am I supposed to? What were we going to do?
You're going to
Was
talk
it going
about
to be recorded?
The shirts and the hats.
I know, but it was the same thing. But it was
the ad wipe didn't come across the screen.
It never seems to work like this. Speaking of shirts,
there it goes.
I got some wipes for you.
God.
Whoa, there goes a phone.
So anyway, back to the shirts. Where did they go?
But he's calm over there. It's
I don't
okay.
even want to have to pull it up. Oh, there they are. Well, remember we said that the green one, I thought it was the best looking one up there?
It's a great looking shirt.
Yeah, well, our GM give us black ones. He just totally goes against. I'm not complaining.
You have the green one.
I do?
You do.
Oh,
we got that one first.
But I got this one.
Yeah.
We got
that one earlier.
You're wearing the
Is
black
this one? Is this the right one? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the black one. That's why I wore it tonight. You called me and told me we should wear these
We
shirts
did.
today
In
'cause we're
fact,
doing
we
this
said
thing.
we got to be twinsies.
Yeah, do we seriously have the green one?
Yes.
Oh,
That
I
was the
didn't know
first
that.
one we picked. You
I take
picked
that
it,
back, Ben.
And then because we hit our goal at Black Friday of, hey, these are great shirts.
That's how we got
That's why we got this one.
Okay, well, we got that.
Bing
And-
bong.
So do we have,
We have a super chat, Luds.
see, they're
During our
interrupting my,
reads.
interrupt my flow.
Burned Oils with a Hatcher and Year After the Cup. Owen, can you change shirt? This is cringe. No, we're wearing
What's
this.
cringe?
We matched tonight. It's our uniform for the night. It's fine, right?
I think I filled mine out a little bit better, but yeah,
It's
like putting it on a broomstick over here.
well, that's because
Heavy and B-Ray.
for me, I have to go. Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, so anyway, go ahead, Sam. I think you're up.
I always have to go up a size and let
Oh,
it
Sam's
shrink.
not up? Or are you up?
No, Sam's up.
Sam's up?
No,
Go
it's
ahead,
Sam. Go ahead, Sam. You got about 40 seconds.
Sam's up because I want to talk about the supporters
He's probably
club.
going to get to the toilet in 40 seconds, too.
Love our supporters club, folks. We have some awesome exclusive videos that we've dropped. I think Luds was the main one, and the last one we had. We'll do one of those every month. You get those if you join the supporters club. It's an exclusive
Ryan,
access
can you cut his mic?
for the real ones only. You get exclusive badges, which you need, and exclusive emojis like all the ones you see, as well as the Craig Ludwig and all the ones that I'm sure are about to flood into the chat. It's some really cool stuff. You get a lot of cool benefits behind the scenes. You pop out in the chat so we can see your chat above all else. And T.O. is the man for feeding those to the rest of our chat. So
there's
supporters club right
that's the
now while the boys are texting.
The last one you said.
Oh, is that because I didn't know if Sam was going to be on?
See,
or not?
that's
Yeah.
why this show was a
Okay.
joke.
I was
all
ready.
right. All right.
I don't know what's going
Let's
on
move
here.
on.
I was ready,
The guy
though.
that
Yesterday, Luds.
outlines everything, it says Owen.
The one that says Luds is still there. Yesterday, we
Professional
did,
run
we,
show.
We did our lead about something that Gully said post game against
One
Montreal.
guy that can't come here because
Right?
he can't get off the toilet. We don't have the right things on.
Are you okay? Have you had anything to eat today?
What time's it? No, actually, I haven't.
I can tell.
I am not.
He's hangry, folks. Get him a snack.
Get him a
Okay.
Lunchable.
We need the Lunchables. We need
Let's get it going
Okay.
because Sam's holding his breath right now or holding something.
So I want you to hear, remember we talked about Gully, he talked about they took too many penalties, they got out of their game, the intensities dropped a little. So yesterday at practice, I asked him some follow-up questions. We discussed basics.
Gully must be getting tired of you.
No,
asking him all
not
these
at all.
questions.
Here's what he had to say.
To amp up our intensity level in the harder areas. things like driving the net a little bit more off rushes, creating a little bit more chaos at the net with some shot volume. Just generally, just a little bit more of that gritty 1% that we've talked about almost all year. It's just you go on a little run like we did. Sometimes those things can slip, and we've got to get them back into our game. So we've talked about this kind of little segment here being a little playoff segment for us to up the intensity in those areas. You know, it's all part of it, right? It's all part of it. We were, you know, I don't know where we were. You can probably help me, you know, and looked at today where I think we're 23rd, and but I think we were at 16th or something before, or even in the top half at some point, close. And it's just one of those things, you know. It's not like it's just in areas of being harder, creating more penalties, being tougher in battles, finishing a few more checks. You know, it's all part of that 1 degree. So that was part of the conversation certainly too, just where we're at and keeping our edge. When we've had so much success for, you know, through November and December, you know, take a break at Christmas, and then we haven't got it going again. So we need to bring that back to the table.
You know, when Gully, if he ever gets fired or if he gets done, he needs to go on to Star Search, because he's a hell of a ventriloquist. I mean,
because it sounds like Luds.
No, I'm just saying I didn't see his lips move one time in that.
Oh, that's
bit.
true. Yeah,
we got our pee-pee whacked because somebody put the wrong thing on the air and we couldn't.
No, we didn't put the wrong thing on there. A bot screwed up.
So what did he all have to say? We got to play harder?
He said the same thing you said. When you sometimes when you go on a run, things start to ebb away from your game.
You expect things just to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
And he said we said it's not, we don't have to completely change our game. We just have to get a little bit more intense in the hard areas of the game.
And I will defend all coaches in that scenario, because it's not them.
Yeah.
It's on the players to recognize that. The coaches can only say it. They can't go out there and play harder and say, this is what I mean. Your leader, it starts with your leaders. And I kind of take Mikko out of it. I think Mikko plays hard all the time.
I think he plays extremely hard.
He's a direct guy. For the kind of player he's pretty, and you see his commitment and his want to get pucks to where they're supposed to be. And, you know, he's got a tenacity to him, not like a Jamie Benn kind of when he loses it. But again, it's up to the players. It's up to those guys on the bench and sitting there and to get on each other when things are going soft, or you're not doing all the things that he talked about. Because we said the other day that they slipped down to like 24, 25 when in the rankings when it comes to hits.
Mm-hmm.
The first half or maybe the first month, they were like number 2 or 3, but they were scoring all the time, right? And then they continued to score even when they weren't hitting. So now it's like, hey, we can just go out there. No, the hell with running into people. Let's just score, and it's not working. So get back to, you know, whatever your foundation, whatever they want to call it.
And Sam, you weren't on the show yesterday to chip in on this conversation, but the other part of it was Gully basically talking about them taking too many penalties versus how many they've drawn. And he said it works on both sides. Lazy penalties, too many stick things, and also not doing the hard stuff, which then leads to drawing more penalties.
Yeah, and lazy penalties is what drives coaches crazy, right? You don't care if a guy takes the penalty because there's a guy on a breakaway and you need to hook him, or you take a penalty because there's a good chance. It's the ones they're taking that not only are they in the wrong areas, a ton of them are in the offensive zone, sometimes behind the opponent's net, which is just, you should never take a penalty. Wyatt Johnston's hooking penalty, which was a penalty. I don't know. There was argument that there was some diving, but he hooked him in the hands as a penalty. The lazy penalties are when you stop your feet. That is always the first sign of
good job,
you're
Sam.
not playing the proper way. I mean, you look at, I can't remember who it was that took this in the last game, but it was a literal turn, misread the play, and then stop and hook, standing still. And every single one of them, the coach is going to scream at you, not because you hooked someone in the neutral zone, because you stopped moving your feet and you reached. And that's what gets you in trouble 9 times out of 10.
It was Jamie.
Yeah, so maybe it was Jamie's. Not only does it get you in trouble because you're going to take the penalty because you're putting your stick in a bad spot and you're not moving your feet to catch up, but it's going to be so obvious because you're reaching now at full length for the hook or for the trip. So it's so obvious to the official to call it. So I think for the Stars, you will take less penalties if you just continue moving your feet, and you'll make your coach a heck of a lot less frustrated if you do that as well.
One of the top 2, maybe number 1, top 2 things that you hear all the time from coaches and players. get your feet moving, you're yelling at each other, but more so it's the coaches all the time. And generally it's early in a hockey game because you can spot it earlier. Your feet aren't moving. Get your feet moving, then everything else comes into play. The lazy penalties that Sam's talking about, they go away. And good things happen when your feet are moving, but your brain's got to be in contact with your feet. And we always talk about you have to, and I have a hard time with the kids all the time because they're all such great skaters nowadays. But the problem is when your feet control your head has to control your feet because your feet they just all can skate. That's not the problem that Dallas is having right now. They've got to get their head to talk to their feet to get them going, like Sam was saying.
All right, biggest storyline for Carolina besides Mikko coming back to town is they get Seth Jarvis back from IR. He's missed 8 games with an injury he didn't want to talk about. But, Luds, I don't know how much you like Seth Jarvis already.
Love him.
But I think you're going to like him even more after this montage from this morning.
Can you elaborate at all on what the injury was? Was it just a rib injury or was it something beyond that?
I don't want to tell you guys. No, there's nothing wrong. I feel great. Yeah, I couldn't really breathe, which scared me a little bit. And then when I kind of got my breath back, then, yeah, a lot of pain, a lot of discomfort. But, after a few days of that, it kind of started to wear down a little bit, and I was starting to move and be able to kind of get back into the swing of things. And then I've been skating for a week, so I feel good. Yeah, I'm trying to score. I mean, that's my whole – I'm not trying to fly into the post and hurt myself. I'm trying to score goals, and you score goals in hard areas of the ice. And it's tough to score in this league, and you got to go to dirty areas. Sometimes you get hurt. Sometimes you score. So it's a risk I'm aware of, but one that I'm always going to be willing to take, especially in a moment like that in overtime when you can end a game. There's no doubt in my mind that I'll do it again, and hopefully with a better result.
That last answer he gave about, of course I'm going to the net, I'm trying to score, someone asked him if he had any hesitation as he was driving the net about possibly hurting himself. And he said, no, you can't think that way. And then they asked, that same reporter asked Rod, and I didn't clip it, but Rod said, no, if you play like that, he goes, you have to play fearless. You can't play like that. You've said that over and over. If you
be happy that the pegs are made out of paper mache now than they were used to be made out of steel, and the nets never move.
You ever fall on that iron peg? It does not feel good.
Hey, Essa, Thomas, Ilya, Petro, it's his ribs, boys. Make him hurt. Make him hurt. That's what it is. Everybody on the planet knows that. And as defenseman, and when he wants to go there, and when the puck is at the point, and he's lined up in front, you find a way to get over to this side, and you just give him one right there. Now, he's obviously better, and he's fine.
Yeah, he's ready to go. Yeah.
But he's not ready to go.
Let's take a look at the lines for Carolina. Obviously, Jarvis checking in. They're going to put him on the third line, he said, with his 2 dads, Jordan Stahl and Jordan Martinuka. I thought that was a funny line. They really like what Hall, Stankoven, and Blake are doing right now. And the top line with Ehlers, Aho, and Svechnikov have had some chemistry. So 3 pretty good lines up front.
I think Ehlers has got scored in the last 3 games. Aho's got 8 in his last 10. So, yeah, Ehlers seems to be settling in. I think it took him a little while. He didn't catch on fire. He's definitely being missed by his former team.
Oh, my God, from first to worst. Sam, on the other side, Jacob Slavin is still in a yellow jersey, but doing some battle drills, which is good. As you look at the defense. So Slavin, they haven't basically had for most of the year this year, but since the last time the Stars met them in October in Dallas, they have Keandre Miller and Shane Gostisbehere back.
Look at the defense pairs without Slavin. Luds, if you rank, let's just say the Carolina Hurricanes were a 7 defensively with him. What do you put them at right now without him?
Listen, I like Keandre Miller. Okay, Gostisbehere to me is and I do like I like Chatfield. I got to admit, when he first came in the league, I wasn't kind of.
Do you think he was a little one-dimensional at first?
Yeah, but I like his game, so I like Miller. Gostisbehere is more of a power play kind of guy, and then after that, yeah, Sam, that's where you want to play the game, and that's where you can take advantage of them. They got a little pushback. My question is, because I don't know, is Freddie playing tonight?
No, it's Brandon Bussi.
Well, Anderson he hasn't won a game in like 10 games.
So let's Freddie Anderson, ready for this? So
07 and
they had a 3-goalie rotation, and it kind of got solved because Kochetkov got hurt, and he's out for the season, they believe. Anderson started 5-3-0. But he is, in his last 9 appearances, 0-7-2.
Yeah,
he can't win a game.
Yeah.
And Bussi is 14-2-1.
Yep. And when I saw it this morning, I'm like, who?
Yeah.
I mean, I literally thought it was the guy driving the bus around.
And he played in Dallas. He didn't win. That's one of his 2 losses this year.
Who's the backup tonight for the Stars?
Casey DeSmith. He's back.
Casey.
Okay. Because I saw this morning somewhere it said e-bug.
Well, that was yesterday.
Was that yesterday?
That was yesterday's practice because Casey met the team.
I'm usually a day late.
In Raleigh. Sam, what's your thoughts about this Brandon Bussi?
Not much besides the fact that he's quick is what I noticed watching him. He's not like Jake as much where he can just use his positioning. He's a quick goalie, but the thing with Carolina is the way they defend normally with Slavin. They are very different. That's why I asked Luds, because they're very different the way they defend. They give up a lot more without Slavin than they do with him. As you saw, Four Nations is a much better team. But Bussi is made to play for Carolina when they're healthy with Slavin, if that makes any sense. Without him, I'm not sure consistently he's good enough to make the saves. But the problem on the other side, the problem on the other side is with Freddie, who is supposedly their guy and was their guy. It's supposed to be their solution. Is he can't stay healthy, so they need to develop these guys, whoever it is, whether it's Bussi or someone else. They need to develop everyone because they have one and now another goalie who can't stay healthy.
I'm sorry, but ever since I saw that got to pound the Bussi,
you're still laughing about it, aren't you? Yeah, I know.
I'm looking at Ryan laughing, and he's got this. I can't believe that's up there, but he's the one that actually puts it up there.
Ryan, throw up the Stars lines real quick for me because I want to ask you guys this just for a moment, then we'll get to the game. Ernie in the Jamie Benn spot. Gully said this morning that Jamie's improving, dealing with a nose issue officially, hoping to join in California. But Ernie goes with Steele and Ritzkovian. And Sam, are you surprised that Bastian, after the conditioning loan, didn't get thrown in and Blackwell's in instead?
A little bit. I almost thought that maybe Ernie would come out and that Bastian would come in because Bastian was fantastic.
But they liked Ernie against Montreal.
Yeah, he was good. But it's weird. It's just the whole situation with Bastian's been weird. It's almost they're basically telling him you're the extra. You are clearing away the 13th forward. And that's okay. But it's tough for them to say, go play games. He plays incredible. He gets 2 game winners and a shootout winner. And then he gets called back up, before probably they wanted him. And he's now the 13 again, but they needed him for the trip. So they didn't really have a choice.
All right, let's go to the defense real quick, Luds, because yesterday in practice, they flipped Lundqvist and Petro. Harley, Petrovic, Lyubushkin, Lundqvist. Your thoughts?
You
think there was some? Gully said yesterday he thought there was something stale.
This is a road thing, okay? It's a road thing. So they're on the road. They don't have last change. And so I think when you're looking at Thomas and Petro together, there's your guys that are going to get the majority of the minutes because you're looking at weight and you're looking at getting lines that go out against certain, people. And so I think that it gives you a little bit more offense on the third pair because I think Nils is a little bit more offensive and can kind of get up a little bit more than Ilya can. And I think Petro can, if Petro gets to back being the Petro when he wasn't guaranteed of a spot all the time, it was just that steady guy, that heavy guy in front of the net, plays well in front of his net. I would think it's a little bit easier for Thomas to feel that he can move into the play a little bit if he can be that kind of guy.
I was just going to say the same thing, Luds. We need Petro to get back to Petro, which is what you said, base, staying in front of his net, making a simple play. And we need Harley to get back to Harley, which is the complete opposite. Be free, roam a little bit while still being responsible. Maybe putting them together solves both of those problems. And Petro knows Harley's going to go up, so he has to be responsible. And Harley knows he's got Petro behind him and he needs to go up. Because I didn't like the Harley-Lundqvist pair. I really don't like the Lyubushkin-Lundqvist pair, but they don't have any options right now. I do like Harley-Petrovic. I think it could work.
And that pair will shake itself out here tonight because of the way that this team plays. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on in the offensive zone, Dallas's defensive zone, I think. And again, how do you counter that? You make sure pucks are in deep once you get across the center line, because they're going to be tracking back, and you're not going to have time. Like Matt Duchene may have again, if Matt was playing in the middle of the ice, how he likes to play, he's going to get tracked back on, and Mikko's going to get tracked back on. That's one thing Brendan Moore will do. He'll say, "There's the head of the snake." You cut the head off. You step on a tail, it doesn't die. You cut the head of the snake off, and that's Rantanen. So I would think that he is going to have less time and space than he's had all year long so far.
It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. Keep an eye on Jake Oettinger. If he's sharp on rebound control, that'll be a big plus against the shot volume Hurricanes. For Sam Nessler, a.k.a. Sick Sam, and they love that nickname already. Although there was also a comment, a very complimentary thing about your Mako article from yesterday. So kudos to that. For Craig Ludwig, for Ryan Vaughters, he can throw it like a discus. I'm Owen. We'll see you afterwards for the postgame show with Sean right here on DLLS.
Tune in for the postgame show on DLLS tonight.
What are you doing?